All right, what's good, YouTube? Quick video on Canelo Alvarez against John Ryder. It's looking like it's really official. They're close to finalizing this fight between Canelo Alvarez and John Ryder in May. Okay, Cinco de Mayo weekend. What do I think about the fight? Well, first of all, the fight is a legit fight. I have no problems with the fight. John Ryder is the mandatory. John Ryder's coming off the Zach Parker win. And I was expecting this fight to go down. Okay. Canelo is coming off an injury. You know, he's recovering. We knew that he was gonna be looking to fight a softer touch. I mean, look, as a fan, there's fights that I would like over this one. Okay. Personally. Me personally, what would I like to see more? I would like to see Benavides more. I would like to see Andrade more. You know what I'm saying? There's a few fights that I would prefer to see over this fight here. Let me pull up 160 real quick, just so I don't forget anybody. As a fan, and I'm talking about myself, yes, there are some fights that I prefer, but this is not a bad fight at all. You know, David Morrell. I would love to see the David Morrell fight, and David Morrell is the world WBA champ, so he's gonna be due. You know, and when you're undisputed, Canelo Alvarez is undisputed. All right, so there's gonna be a lot of obligations here, but John Ryder is a worthy opponent, and for you to come off an injury and go straight into a fight with John Ryder, and John Ryder has been on a good run lately. I don't think he beat Danny Jacobs, but I do believe that he beat Callum Smith. All right. Um, so I don't have no problems with it. Caleb Plant and David Benavides, they are going to be facing each other next. So David Benavides is not even available. You know what I'm saying? Um, and the winner of that fight will be the WBC mandatory. And I believe that the tougher challenge, whatever challenge it is, whether it's Bivol rematch, whether it's Benavides or Morrell or whoever, that tougher challenge will probably be in September, you know, in Canelo's next fight. But this fight here, I have no issues with it. You know, some people are going to complain about it. I've seen Demetrius Andrade complain about it. I want to see the Demetrius Andrade fight. I know there's people that don't care for it. I know Andrade's been a bit of a mess lately. And I don't think Andrade is getting the fight probably ever, you know, unless he puts himself back in position. I think he could have been in position with the Zach Parker situation, but once that fell through because all of that mess, I'm not going to go through it. He lost his opportunity to get that fight. He could have been a mandatory, but he's not anymore. So with that being said, Triple G is over. The trilogy is done. Canelo, I think the only thing that I can see happening outside of the fighters at 160 is him getting a rematch in there with Dimitri Bivol. I think that's a high possibility that that fight goes down. All right. Um, what I'm curious to see is how long is Canelo going to remain undisputed? You know, I think at some point there's going to be some sort of conflict where one of those titles are going to have to get relinquished or vacated or him getting stripped or something like that because it's going to be hard to do what you want to do and to hold all four of those titles at the same time. You've already won the titles. You've defended it once. You're about to defend all four again for a second time. I believe that Bivol said he was willing to come down to 168 to fight for those titles. So I want to see how that works. But with that being said, and I don't have no problem with the Ryder fight. It's a solid fight. And I kind of knew it was going to happen anyway. You know, I think we all knew that this was going to happen, you know, and if he's coming off an injury, I don't think he's going to take the toughest challenge. Again, this is not a soft touch. It's not a soft touch. I don't want to even make people feel that that's what I'm saying. I have a personal preference, and I'm telling you my personal preference for Canelo. And my personal preference is Morrell, is Andrade, is Benavides, who's already tied up with another fight. That's my personal preference over this fight. You know, I'm not gonna say Jamal Charlo because Jamal hasn't been active. Jamal Charlo is not even at 168. So I don't want to talk about him. You know, he's not even active right now. But those are the three names that I'm thinking. You know, that's a personal preference over me. Bivol rematch, I personally don't want to see it like that. But if those guys agree to wanting to do it, I don't have a problem with that fight neither. I really don't have a problem with Canelo right now. I really don't. I don't with with boxing and what everybody's doing right now and what everybody's not doing and the fights that we're not getting and these fights that's been canceled or delayed or rescheduled, injuries, you know, business falling apart. I don't have a problem with Canelo at all. So the Ryder fight is cool with me. Um, I had made a video, a funny video, maybe a couple months back of like giving names of Canelo having like a tune-up if he was gonna really to do a like a tune-up fight, just to get back in the mix and taking a break and getting recovered, you know, coming back on his first fight. And I said to you guys, he should fight this guy Edgar Berlanga. You know, I said it, and I was dead serious. You know, as a tune-up. And I think Ryder is a better fight than Edgar. You know, as a tune-up, I thought Edgar was legit. And they could sell it because of the Puerto Rican, Mexican thing. They could have had it on Cinco de Mayo. They could have made something out of it. You know, if he really truly wanted a tune-up, that is a tune-up. That is a tune-up. John Ryder is not really a tune-up. I don't think it's the hardest fight, but it's not a tune-up in my opinion. There is a difference. All right, so that's how I feel about that fight. It's going to be in May. They're looking for it to be in May. No surprise there. And that's all right. John Ryder's legit to me. He's legit. All right. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. How do you like this fight? Do you like the fight? Do you think it's a soft touch for Canelo? I think Canelo's gonna win. You know, I don't think John Ryder could beat Canelo. All right. But it's the standards that we hold for people that's at the top. You know, it's like David Avenesian. I didn't want the fight with Bud Crawford. Didn't want the fight. I'm not asking for it, you know, because I think there's, excuse me, more difficult fights out there. All right. So in a sense, Avenesian being a top 10 welterweight is a tune-up because Bud is one of the best fighters in the world. Canelo is one of the best fighters in the world. So in my opinion, John Ryder, yes, it's a softer touch for Canelo because we know what Canelo can do and who he's beaten, who he's shared a ring with. Same with Bud Crawford. We know what he's capable of. We only want to see Canelo against the very, very best. We want to see Bud Crawford against the very, very best. We want to see Naoya and Inoue against the very, very best. Usyk, the very, very best. There are certain fighters where they're at a caliber where you don't want to see them one step down at all. But John Ryder is one of the top guys at 168 right now. Period. Period. Proven. You know? So let me know what you guys think. Subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, share the video, and I'm out. Peace.